Everyone, welcome to another great episode of the Smooth Business Growth Podcast, where we share 15 minutes of fast-paced, pure marketing strategies proven to move the needle in your business. So I'm your host and Captain Lyndsay Phillips, and I'm the founder of Smooth Sailing Business Growth, where we help busy entrepreneurs attract and acquire customers faster through powerful and consistent content marketing. In fact, if you go to smoothbusinessgrowth.com at the end of the show, you can download your social media roadmap to help you do just that. So this is a really cool topic that we're covering today. I mean, we all want to create more engagement with our customers and obviously increase sales. And what cooler of a way to do that than is to create demos or demonstrations on your website. And today we'll be chatting with Greg Dickinson, who is a serial entrepreneur and founder of Omedym, which is a really cool demo type software, and he loves software and all things techie. So we are going to be chatting with him right now. Welcome aboard, Greg.
Thank you, Lyndsay. Glad to be here.
Awesome. And so for those that haven't quite caught on, Omedym is actually the what do you call it? The backwards way of spelling or whatever is my demo backwards. My demo backwards.
We turn the demo on its head.
Ooh, nice. I love that. And yeah, I mean, most people, we kind of, wing it, might have a video on our page or whatever, but I've never really thought about the demonstrations as a marketing tool, or, the right way or the wrong way to do it. And as I was learning about you, I thought, yeah, like that totally makes sense. And when you were creating your business, you wanted to transform the customer engagement experience. Now, yes, customer engagement is important, but how does it affect the bottom line when it comes to sales?
Yeah, so if you think of today, right, the buyer, and no matter what study you read, the buyer, we as buyers, we're kind of a consumer at work, kind of does 60-70% of the sale on their own, right? The buyer is self-educated. There's so many resources available for us to get information. I mean, 20 years ago, you had to go to IBM to get information about, IBM. Nowadays, you can get information about anything. So
oh my gosh.
What we were focused on is if that buyer is on your website and the buyer only comes to your website if you're a software company, quote unquote, to get software, then why do we hold the demo hostage? Why do we hold it behind this gated form and all this process when at the end of the day, if you can get the product in the buyer's hands faster, they're happy. A happy buyer is good for your bottom line. And, CAC cost of customer acquisition cost, according to a great study done by a firm in Boston, customer acquisition costs are up 55% in the last 5 years for software SaaS businesses. So the cost of what it takes to get a customer engaged is going up. And why not cut out a lot of that process and put that to the bottom line, right? So we're trying to automate the top of the funnel, customer engagement. And think about it, Lyndsay, you as a person, right? You're a buyer, you go places, you're looking for software, you see that form pop up of first name, last name, email, and title, and 85% of all people that see that form abandon it. They leave. They go someplace else. So not only does it cost you money to follow that process, you're missing out on your door might as well be locked, right? You might as well not have your store open because people come to buy software and they leave.
That's so true. And you're right, now that I think about it. There are a lot of companies that, you have to opt in to see the demonstration.
Yeah, the statistics suggest, not done by me, but by a company, 96% of all websites have, and listen, they're playing games, schedule a demo, see a demo, live demo, the demo, whatever it is. When you click on that button, a form comes up, right? And the funny thing about that too is that Harvard just did a study that said that if you cannot respond to today's digital buyer within the first 5 minutes of their showing interest, the chances of you landing them goes down by 900%.
Holy Hannah.
why are we subjecting ourselves as a business to a process that, in my career, I started in enterprise software in 1997 with Ariba. I was a pre-sales engineer. I gave demos. The process then is exactly like it is today. But think of, the podcast business, or think of SEO, or think of MarTech, or think of sales tech. All the automation that has been thrust into our businesses to help us, right, to be better, faster, and more acute to what our customers are doing. And yet the demo process is analog. It's exactly like it was back in 1997. So, we think that this process, and our customers are testimonial to that it's driving value, A, pipeline, B, better lead conversion. You're able to respond in seconds, not, days and hours. And last but not least, the buyer, if anything, the world has shown, I like to use this example that, Uber kind of sells the same product as a yellow taxi. It's point A to point B. They made the buying experience easier. They win. Look at Netflix. It's the same movie as Blockbuster. Same product. The buying experience was better. They win. And so if your buying experience is fraught with friction and gated content, guess what? They'll go someplace else. We think of it as we do every day. If it's hard to book a hotel room, you'll go to the next hotel, right? So that's what we're trying to do. Trying to help businesses with that.
I love it. And yeah, you're right. When I am, finding a new software or a tool or an app or whatever, I want to visualize how it's going to look, because the interface is so important. And is it going to be user friendly? Can I really apply this? Because it answers so many questions. Yes. And if I'm confused and I'm not getting that answered, I'm going to be like, oh, I'm going to find something else.
Yes. You said the magic word. So when in the software buying process, when a buyer is first trying to understand about your software, it's all about, can it do something, not how. How is later. In the beginning is, I'm getting ready to launch a podcast business. I need some automation. Can it do these 5 things I find to be important? And you want to look at it, you want to touch it, you want to understand. You're going to be in the driver's seat. You're going to be using the software. Can you do it? Later on, you may want to know, well, how does it store the digital content, or how does it convert it? But that's not your question day one. Your question day one is, and you said it in your sentence, it's, can it do this? And that's why do we need to be through a regimented process of a form, a discovery call, booking. And the other thing our software does is, if Lyndsay goes through and takes an automated demo through Demo on Demand, our software, I capture all of that buyer intent, all those questions you asked, what you watched, how long you watched it, so that when you do move forward with the salesperson, you have a tailored experience, which is what we all want as consumers, right? They know that the reason you were looking for podcast software is because you wanted these 5 things. Now they can teach you and show you how the can is done.
That's awesome. And that really helps us kind of zero in on, okay, what are the first questions we need to think about, so that we are super, super focused.
Yes. So because you don't have time to be wasted. I mean, one of the compliments of your whole podcast and your following is that it's a 15 to 20 minute podcast. It's not an hour. The average watch time of a video on YouTube is 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Crazy. People don't have 20 minutes to watch a demo. Can I get in, ask 6 questions? Can it do these 6 things? Great. And, it's funny because there's been Forrester, Gartner, Google, and, Conference Executive Board have all done this survey that the buyer's experience, 60 to 65% of it's complete before they reach out to sales. If you stop and ask, why is that important? If there's only 30% of the selling cycle left, guess what? The buyer is ready to buy. Yeah. So you don't need to be doing all this work. Just get their product in their hands. Yeah. And then, let them buy.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so much more efficient and makes so much more sense. Now, is there anyone that who are demonstrations right for to help sell their products? And are there any people that it's not right for?
Yeah, we focused in on software companies, right? I mean, we've been inundated with, we could do, you name the industry, right? Hospitality industry or retail industry or, higher ed industry. But we focus on software and predominantly, right, we find that the companies early stage, like they're in their first, they haven't got product fit yet, and they really haven't come to market. I'm not going to let them use our technology because they really need to be on the phone with those first buyers and because they're learning, right? And they're trying to understand what the product needs to do.
Hands-on and in the trenches,
But after, you've got $1 million in revenue and up, we've got customers that size all the way up to, north of $100 million in revenue. And we also find that portions of our software are suited for companies that have really complex products because they can record that scripted 90-minute, 2-hour demo with their prospects, and then they can provide that back to their prospects. So it's inevitable when you have a enterprise sale that someone's are missing. So they can utilize that to allow that buyer to go back, listen to it again, understand what questions were already asked, because that's what our software does. It's kind of like take a video and put Alexa on top of it so you can ask a question and it brings you to the exact portion of the video where that particular feature is being talked about. So you don't have to listen to 60 minutes. You listen to 7, 8, 9 minutes of the content you were interested in. It finds the right video, the right second, and plays that for you, and then allows you to look at other areas of interest, other topics, if you will.
Well, isn't that slick?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, here's a question for you. Are demos, do you look at it as simply a sales tool, or does it have other uses in the life of a customer?
Yeah, so we see, if you think through the customer journey, that's why we called it digitizing the customer journey, is the sales process is step one, right? Lyndsay, right, wants to understand podcasts and how software can work. But boy, 2 weeks after she buys, she may have a question. Gosh, how do I configure this? How do I configure that? Well, that's implementation. I could ask your audience a question. Would you rather me send you a set of directions to put the gasket together, or let you look at a video that says, how do I attach the tank? And let you quickly see exactly how, right, to do that. So the software works implementation, customer success. 2 years down the road, Lyndsay sees there's a new version of her podcast management software and wants to quickly understand, one of the problems I've been having is this. Does it now do X? Bam, right? It brings you to the right section. So now you can quickly, as a customer, understand the value of upgrading. And then last but not least is support, right? So think of you're having a problem with the software. 60 some odd % of all help desk tickets are actually not tickets, they're questions. How do I do this? Well, what better way than have someone say, how do I add this widget to a report? And it sends me back a link to a video that says, here's how you do it. I'd much rather you retain information better. Digital and video is taking over, right, the internet, because that's how we want to consume information.
And we learn better, I think, by kind of, everyone learns differently, but to watch it and see it, I think it's more powerful.
Yep, especially in software, right? There's a study that just came out that said that we retain 9 times better if we see it and hear it than if we read it.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Yeah.
And so demos really are not just a sales tool, but an instructional, educational, support, customer service. So it's got multi-functions.
Through the whole journey, right? Because you're a customer, hopefully, for life, and I want you to be every facet of your quote-unquote journey. You may have different inquiries of the technology, but you still are having an inquiry into how to, right? How does it do this? Because right? You may come back one day and say, hey, I've been doing these podcasts and I'd like to understand, can it do this? And it says no, but guess what? Now the buying team, the software company knows that you inquired about that question. Gosh, isn't that good data for them to understand? 1,000 people ask, can it do this? Maybe we should put that on the roadmap.
Right.
So it's what I really love about starting this is my 5th startup is I for the first time I'm satisfying the buyer and the consumer of the software, right? They get a better experience, but I'm also helping the seller or the supplier because I'm lowering their cost, right? I'm providing them with a way to help their buyers, right, be happier, and at the same time I'm giving them intelligence, right? We call it in-product behavior knowledge they can use to be better. So it's a cool place to be when you're satisfying both sides of the equation.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And it sort of feels like you're getting more bang for your buck. And so when you're, thinking of having a demo on your site, is there a right way and a wrong way to have a demo? I mean, I'm assuming obviously the length is a key factor, but are there any other factors that make one better than another?
Well, it used to be length was a factor, right? And now it isn't because of our search technology. You're not requiring the person to sit through 60 minutes. They'll ask their question. It'll find the 2-minute segment and they'll watch that. So now you can do you can take, we call it everyday content. Take a demo you give every day or a webinar or a presentation, upload that. We take care of the rest. But to answer your question, yes, there are demo techniques. I've been doing this for a long time, and regardless if it's my technology or other technology or just demos in general, it's in the facet of a demo for selling. It's not a training exercise. So me inundating Lyndsay with 20, 30 features is not helping her. But if I said to her instead, let me show you the value of being able to create a podcast in 3 minutes, you're going to go, wow, that's important to me, right? Not, hey, Lyndsay, let me show you the 12 features that allow you to create you're going to get inundated. So what you want to do is you want to talk about what's the value your software brings to that buyer so that their life is better, their job is better, it's saving them time, saving them money, helping them avoid something, right? That's why we buy things. And let the software demonstrate how Lyndsay will be better tomorrow than she is today if she took advantage of your software, as opposed to let me show you the fields we have and how to add a new field and how to rearrange the screen. You'd be like,
Goodness,
oh gosh,
you get lost in the weeds.
Exactly.
I love that. And I guess technically on your website, you can have more than one demo, like a demo that just touches upon this area and one that touches upon that area, so that you're narrowing it down for your audience.
Yes, I was talking to a company this morning that's in the logistics shipping business, and they would have freight handling, logistics, planning, right? Optimization. Those are areas that they would do. They'll probably do 4 or 5, 8 to 10 minute, right, quote unquote, topical videos, right? Demonstrations, and then put all those together. And then when the customer walks in, they search and say, oh, I'm interested in optimization. It brings them to all the sections of the content that talk about optimization or freight forwarding and things of that nature. So it is helpful, right, to guide, because we want you to know as a seller, I want you to know what features we think are important, what values we bring, benefits we bring that are important to you as a quote unquote buyer.
I love that. And I'm assuming, when you get a new customer on board that you help them through the process. Like, do you do the filming, or do you coach them on how to do the filming part of it, or?
Well, yeah, most of our customers are versed, right? And they've given demos before, lots of them. We do have a team of people that will kind of come through and say, listen, your gut instinct would say, let me do a voiceover, because that would make it really professional and clean. And we'll say to them, we did that, and they're boring and they're monotone and they don't accentuate what you want that buyer to hear in your demo, right? Think about a real demo, the demo experience. As the audience gets excited, so does the presenter. So, but we would recommend don't do that. So we have a whole list of gotchas that we've been through, right? And our customers have been through to say, here's how you do it. And then, literally from the customer's perspective, record the screen, the demo, like today, this is a Zoom meeting. We could record this and upload it, right? It's done, right? And we'll do all the heavy lifting as far as the indexing and the meta tagging and all that work so that it is searchable tomorrow.
Nice. I love that. Well, thank you so much for opening our eyes into how to incorporate demos into our business to create more sales and more engagement. And I would never have thought of it kind of a demo past that point of sale, but it has a lot more uses than you think of.
It sure does. It sure does. Well, I appreciate you inviting us. We love to, your topics are great. I get a lot of value out of them, and I hope this will give some of your listeners some value and how they can, increase their sales effectiveness while decreasing that customer acquisition costs and, and providing a much better experience for their buyers. So thank you so much.
Awesome. So folks, make sure you go to omedym.com. That's OMEDYM.com. Of course, I'll have those links in the show notes. And of course, you can reach out to Greg and his team to ask any questions. Thanks for that, Greg.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Awesome. So folks, this week's 50-minute cruise to move the needle in your business has come to an end. Thank you again, Greg, for opening up our eyes to the world of demos and how it can help us with our business. Now, if you're looking to achieve faster growth through content marketing and sales funnels, look no further than smoothbusinessgrowth.com. So have a profitable and productive week, folks, and may the winds always be at your back.